The position I'm going to show here is how I attack a Kimura on a cross-body, side control, whatever, people have different names for it. I usually get it because the first move, and it works very effectively, that everybody teaches to get out of here, is to dig an underhook. So we're sitting here fighting. The minute he gets space, he feels like he's going to come in there. So what I do to avoid this from happening is I actually put my hand between the person's legs to kind of collapse down, so this limits his hips now, since I've lost control of his shoulders, and if he kicks up hard, he's got my side and he's coming up. So the first thing I do is I come in here and I'll secure and lock onto something, so that way I'm between his legs and kind of a pin. The next thing I do now is I go ahead and start going over and finishing for the Kimura, and now I fish for it. Once I come in here, I keep my weight on his chest so that if he starts to buckle, sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm going to have to surf for a second because there's a vulnerable moment right here when I first come over. So I slide my body towards his hips instead of trying to reach up like this. Now I'm kind of heavy and towards his head, and if he were to buck his hips, I'd be in trouble again. So instead I just slide kind of down, and then I grab the wrist. Once I do that, I put it in one jerking motion. I kind of jerk up and down. But I keep his hand close to his butt. People sometimes teach to pull their hand out in here. The problem with that is it's good if the guy had a gi on, because now he's not grabbing his shorts, but in our sport, this is illegal for him to do. He can't grab onto his own shorts or any material whatsoever, mine or his.
I think you can grab your own shorts.
Can you grab your own shorts?
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
well, just pull towards you.
Yeah, pull towards
the thumb.
But even if he grabs his shorts, I just feel like this is a better position than being out here, because then I get into the battle of I lose my lever, start to doing this, and this straight arm bar that like you've seen Hughes put hoists in. I've never tapped anybody who's ever been in the UFC or even a high caliber in any other show. So once we're down here, I just lock up. I keep the wrist tight. I cover my own knuckles. And now the secret of this maneuver, which we'll rotate this way so we don't have to use the other shoulder, is as I apply pressure on his shoulder, I have to somehow keep Forrest's head down. Otherwise, the minute I start, curling in and doing this number, if he sits up with me, I don't have anything, so I have to keep him down. So all I do is just drive my shin, pretend I saw the Kimura so I can just keep pressure off here. I drive my shin across, and I put my foot on top of his biceps. Just step over the top, and then I keep pressure down on the shoulder as I apply it. So the move and completion, we're here, we're fighting, I'm side control. He starts to go for the escape. I pin it. I go for the wrist. I drive it to the mat. If I can in one motion, for whatever reason, if Forrest, my opponent, just has their elbow kind of like in my hip or in any other position, I can just kind of skip over the top and apply pressure and submit. If Forrest is smart and he starts covering my hips and hugging me, now that's when I have to start driving my shin across to create room to get my foot over the top of the head to apply pressure. So that way when I start torquing the shoulder, his back stays flat to the mat, or as close to as possible. One mistake I don't make that a lot of guys used to teach, and that's the way I was originally taught. I forgot who taught me the right way. Can't give credit. Is when I have a Kimura, it's coming up to my knees and attacking someone like this. This doesn't work on anybody, or not that it doesn't work on people. The problem with this now is if Forrest just gets his feet in the mat and starts driving into me, it's hard to, especially a guy with a wrestler. Forrest is just a guy like me, so he went to his back. But if you're in here, if Forrest bellies down into me, I've had this happen to me several times on guys who just natural instincts to be a good wrestler and
just bring the shin across, or
yeah, they're athletic now because you come up here now they do this with their feet and they start driving into you. So that's my my Kimura.
Well, the big thing is you trapping this underarm. When you do it one more time. So boom, boom, push. This arm right here is helpless. This is where I would push or maybe lock or do something. Now
yeah, the thing that gives me the hardest time is when people hug my hips.
Yeah,
completely just tight waisted.
I can no longer protect my arm here. I don't want to do any of this.
Yeah. There's the beginning and the end.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're equivalent weight to the person you're wrestling, fighting, etc., they're not getting out of there. If you weigh 100 pounds less than them, they might be able to throw you off.
That helps in a lot of moves.
Yeah, if we're talking about equal weight, it's not going to work.